band, weights.
The man, lightweight. All right, we're gonna get started with inchworms. Nothing too crazy. Start at the top, roll yourself down, fun yourself, and plank at the bottom. Nice, strong plank, belly button pulled in towards that spine. Core is engaged, shoulder blades down about. All the good things. Hang out here for a second. We're gonna walk ourselves all the way back and stretch all to the back side of our legs. Roll yourselves all the way up. Oh, we'll kind of add on as we go, but I'll just do a few right here just to get ourselves warmed up. Unless, of course, we were already on the cardio equipment, then we're warm already.
Yeah, we're good.
Not that would work, so. Again, finding ourselves in that plank at the bottom, nice strong plank, forwards engaged, shoulder blades down back. And walking this comes all the way up, feeling a nice stretch in that side of our legs, bending at the knees if you need to. Different levels of flexing. Oh, really permanent here today to me.
Great.
And normally I'm like not overly warm person, so it must be warm in here. How's my move? Hello, Miss Lisa. How are you? Huh? All right. We're just doing some inchworms to get warmed up here.
Really already worked.
Brandon's already sweating. Workout is so hard. He's like sweating buckets. Okay, no, I'm joking.
I might have. Plan to it after. I lunch. I didn't feel like something. I saw it.
As you walk yourself out down into your inchworm, this time you can go from your knees or from your toes. You're going to add a push up. You're going to come all the way back up, and you're just going to roll it up a little bit quicker. You get to the top, you're going to add a squat. If you're just joining in, you can just do a few inchworms to get yourself warmed up. You can add in that squat and that push up when you feel ready or right off the bat. It's totally up to you. Kind of take your time if you need to. We'll do a few more here. We're just gonna go a little bit quicker. We can get in a few more, but feel free to go at your pace as you warm up. Knees or toes for that push up. As you walk down into that plank, keeping that tummy pulled in tight, thinking belly button to spine. Woo. These are definitely going to warm you up quickly. Also, as I was just saying, it feels warm in here. I want you to feel like you got, a good sweat today. So let's like turn up the temperature or something. When you get down to the bottom and you find yourself in plank, hold it there, tell everybody it's down in plank. Oh no, for some of us that's longer than others. It's fine. Holding a nice strong plank, you are going to shift into a side plank, either one foot in front of the other, staggered, both feet on top of each other, or with that bottom knee down. So there are lots of variations here in how you would like to do your plank. The floor is actually a little bit slippery today. It looks like dusty. When you find yourself in plank, try side plank. Try to make sure you are a nice long line, ribs, stacked hips, no bending in the middle, no leaning forward. And we're going to add a slight lift. So here's a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Oh no, I didn't say take a break. I said back to center. Now I am now facing the mirrors. Let's just change your direction to turn. Keeping the ribs and hips aligned. Find yourself in a nice strong side plank. Feet staggered, or one knee on the ground. And we are going to pulse it up for 10. So there's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Oh yeah, you're still holding it. This is one long plank right now. Keep holding it. Rotate back to that first side. Add a little challenge if you want. Put that arm in the air. You don't have to. Totally your choice. Same thing. Knee, feet staggered, whichever you prefer. 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the center. Holding it in that nice strong plank. Belly button spine. Time one facing the mirrors. Add an arm for a challenge if you need to. We're going to 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, come down onto your back on that. Oh, Brandon, you're a hot mess today. What are we gonna do with you?
Yeah, I take that weight off.
That wasn't my fault. All right, making sure those ribs are in line with those hips. Our lower back is gently pressed against the ground. You're gonna go either 1 foot at a time, alternating, picking it up off the floor, or you're going to go both feet. So whichever one is what you need for your core today, you pick. Both variations are good. Remember, you're keeping that belly button pulled in, down to the spine. Your back is slightly pressed against the mat. And you should feel this all in your core. You can go back and forth between doing both feet and alternating feet, or you can stick with both feet the entire time. Your choice entirely. Both are going to get after that floor. Really focusing on the core muscles. We don't want the hip flexors joining in as we do this. Got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, give yourself a nice little quick full body stretch, reaching long from your fingers to your toes. Taking a nice deep breath. We're going to go right into, not right into, but pulling up our feet. We're going to go into a bridge. So pressing our full foot down to the mat as we lift our hip bone up towards the ceiling, really focusing on using our glutes. So tucking that tailbone under, pressing down as we rise up. Make sure you can feel those glutes activate as you press your hip bones up towards the ceiling. You might even feel a nice stretch in your hip flexors if they're particularly tight. That's all right. Good for them to get a little stretch. Got 15 more seconds right here, kind of going at your own pace, making sure you're feeling the glutes activate. Your core is lightly engaged. That's kind of what's helping keep everything aligned. Very nice. And we're gonna go back to that core activation. So either alternating feet or both feet tapping the ground. You choose. Do what you need to do to make sure you can keep that lower back slightly pressed against the ground and really focusing on that mind to core connection. Or if you start out with doing a few of them as double leg and you're like, oh, I'm losing it, I'm not being stable anymore, and just switch. You can go back and forth between the two. It's totally fine. We're almost there. We've got about 10 more seconds. All right, placing both those feet down onto the ground. This time we're going to go 1 minute of alternating to press up with one leg at a time. So it's kind of like you're walking, you walk on one foot at a time. We're going to work the glute, but then also those sides of the hip muscles that help keep us stable. Take your time, you have a minute. I'm not counting how many you do in a minute. We're just focusing on really getting the correct muscles activated, keeping our hips level, not letting them drop down to the side as you rise up. Keep going, you're almost there. Bet you can't guess what's next. Okay. No, okay. Back to that core activation. Either alternating feet or dropping both feet down to the ground. You choose whichever one you can stay in the most control. Not feeling it in our hip flexors. Really focusing on that core. If you do the drop down part of this really slow, you will get a really good burn. Not necessarily a move that you have to do quickly. A little challenge. If you did like 1, 2, 3, all the way down, and see if you can hold that really good posture, keeping that pelvis nice and stable. It's going to be harder. And you're like, are you watching your watch? You know, I'm attention. So for 15 more seconds, you can do it. Almost there. All right, one more time with that bridge. What we're gonna do this time is we're gonna rise up into the bridge with both feet, and we're gonna drop down with one foot, and then rise up again 2 feet, and then drop down with that other foot. So it's gonna be a controlled drop with one leg. Really focus on keeping that pelvis nice and level. Don't let it drop down to the side as you go down. You've got some time here. Don't have to rush. If you're feeling this at all in your back, you need to tuck that tailbone under a little stronger. Got 15 more seconds here. Very nice. Go ahead, grab your band. Very carefully. These shoes are not the best, but you can. Don't put much of an arch, but very carefully. Get that nice and secure on the bottom of your foot. We're gonna add a little hip mobility. So let's just start with side to side. Seeing that band. Kind of guide that leg from side to side. Some of us are gonna have more flexibility than others. Some of us are gonna like that leg's gonna get really close to the ground. Some of us it's not gonna get close at all. That's fine. We're just gonna spend some time kind of opening up that hip capsule. Be kind to yourself. If you find that there's a spot that, oh, it feels particularly tight, you need to spend a little time on the outside or spend a little time across the body, go ahead, do that. Totally fine. Oh, very nice. And then just a few up and down. Again, if you need to spend a little time up here at the top and feel that nice stretch in your hamstring, go ahead and do that. Make the band kind of guide your leg. The band can give you as much help as what you need it to, or as little help as what you need it to. So we're gonna go ahead very carefully, bringing that other foot up to meet it. We're gonna switch feet that the band is on. Setting down that other leg, and we're just gonna start with that side to side motion. Again, taking your time, you can spend a little time stretching one or the other if you need to. Using as much resistance as you need with that band. Take note of this side looser, is this side easier, harder than the other? For me, it's my left side, it's always like tighter, so then when I get to the right side, I'm like, oh, I'm super flexible. I'm really not, but it feels like it. Then we're just gonna do a few of that up and down motion. Again, if you need to spend some time here at the top, getting a nice stretch in that hamstring, you can. All right, you're gonna carefully let that thing come on. I'll lay it in front. I'm just gonna roll to the front side here. You can take, you don't have to take the entire time or the ears. You can face whatever direction you want. We're gonna go into a clamshell. Oh yeah. Clamshell. I haven't done those in a little while. Feels like a good thing to introduce with the new year. Really focusing on the side of that glute. Nothing too crazy here. Core is lightly engaged. You are nice and lined up. So if you looked at your ribs, the bottom of your ribs and your hip bone, they are lined up with each other. We're not rolled forward. We're not rolled backwards. Oh my goodness, my back just cracked. Nice and lined up.
Oh, we got 30 more seconds of this one. Are we feeling it burn? Good for us. I'm just telling myself, good, good, good. It's good for walking. It's good for running. It's good for all things, you know. Like,
Help my typing skills.
ooh, I don't know about that. All right, same side, 1 minute. Take that leg out long. Just going up and down. Some of us can get that leg a little bit higher. It's not really like a challenge of like, oh, I can get my leg really high. It's just a, let's use that side of the butt muscle right there. We're just really gonna burn it out here. Might even like get to the point where you have to like give it a little massage here to keep it going. Now, don't get tired and like roll forward. Our ribs are still in line with our hip bones. I know, I'm being all sorts of fussy right now.
I was called out.
I know. Not that I was picking on anyone, but. Got about, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna do this same side. You're going knee down, heel up. So knee down, heel up. So like you're trying to press it into a wall behind you. Ooh la la.
I think so.
What? Nothing, nothing. I was like digging into my Sasha archive. I was like, this is like a classic. And do you know what? When I was like taking her to class like every day, I had like one of the best years like running. And I think it's because we did so many hip exercises. We had such strong like hips and butts when we did that class. I could bust out the steps if I knew where they were, but I don't know where they went, so.
Arizona.
No, the steps that used to be up here, we used to have like aerobic steps. I don't know where they went. We got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, it was so painful. Not really bad. It will hurt later. At the moment, it's maybe not so bad. I'm gonna flip over. You can flip over if you don't want to face me anymore. You'll still hear me, but. Got 1 minute of clamshell. All right, go ahead. I got the watch going now.
Lisa's
So-
here to call you out.
I know she is. So, same thing, ribs are in line with the hips. We're really focused on that small muscle on the side of our butt. Again, it's not like, some of us have more flexibility. We can make a bigger clamshell than others. It's really not about like how big you can make the clamshell. It's what you need to do to have that muscle activate. So maybe your clamshell is like this big. And that's your range of motion for feeling that little tiny side butt muscle. That's totally fine. You guys are like the hardcore people though, because I know that you guys come up here and exercise year round. It's only busy up here at the beginning of the year right now. All right, remember that long lever, 1 minute. Up and down. Take note too, for me, I got my left side going right now. This side is always harder for me. This muscle just must not be as strong. Although I just noticed, someone left their trash up here, just sitting on the little table.
Oh, yep.
We have to do like a gym etiquette post on the wellness page, I'm thinking. Because it's the new year, doesn't it mean anything to be all messy?
I did.
No, not allowed. Where is that? That's on the screen. Like, do I get to work from there? Right. A little fire pit, like, that's amazing.
Think you west.
Oh, is that where it is? 3, 2, 1. Knee down, heel back and up. Ow, it's starting to burn.
Starting.
Maybe it is burning. Maybe it was burning. Give it a little massage. Keep it going. Woo. I find too on my left side is like my TFL, like hip flexor area likes to join in a lot quicker. I really have to focus on keeping everything like aligned. I don't know, it just likes to stay better aligned on the right side, I guess. Keep after it. We're almost there. Oh, very nice. And done. You can roll over and you can put one foot over the opposite knee, pulling through on the back side of the leg, or all the way to your shin. Be kind, maybe to start, you know, maybe it's a little tender to start. So breathe into that stretch, and maybe as you breathe, it'll let you go a little bit further into it. Time. Uh-oh.
I'm certainly excited to finish on it like that. So
And carefully switch side. This is a really good stretch to take, you know, a lot of times the hip, the hips, whatever. They like to be maybe a little more dominant on one side. You find that one side just is tight. And that's a good one to stretch. If you have a stand-up desk, that's stretch right at your desk. Like a shoe. Roll on over to your front side. Placing those hands down along your side. Not letting your core sag, but pushing up a nice stretch to your middle. And then we're just gonna flow right through it, sitting back to a child's pose. I'm going to go knees wide because that's just what feels good to me today. And I'm gonna flow right into a quad position on all four. And when I'm going to work here, and then you here even to like look at it, I'm gonna try to expand into this back right here, or upper back, and really push it towards the ceiling. And then I'm gonna see if I can breathe. So on that inhale, can I breathe into my back? Exhale. Inhale, breathe. Feel that 360 breath going all the way into my back. And then one more time, I'm gonna breathe down onto my body. Slowly. Use your triceps to bring you down if you want. And then bring yourself up. Not a loose core, so it's like the end. Why we need uncomfortable, I would think. And then shifting back slowly and going in a wide position, but you picked up sitting back into child's pose, gently pressing those hands down into the mat, feeling a nice stretch into the lats and that upper back. And then bring it back onto all
4, again, pressing those hands down to the ground, really pressing through that mid to upper back. Seeing that, like, you can see that little round thing in the mirror right there. Try to breathe into that. You want to Google it, it's called meditation expansion. So it is a way to help us facilitate breathing into our full lung capacity. Sometimes we just like to keep our breath at the top. Here, we're kind of trying to send that breath out in all directions. And since we sit a lot, we don't always get it to go to the back. Happy tight spots and then you go back. You are definitely feeling them right out now. All right, please feel free to continue to stretch, work out, do cardio, do strength, whatever you need to do. But just like that, we used up our half hour. Woo, it's right.